DJ Pest is on the beats, ladies and gentlemen.
You rocking with DJ Pest, you know everybody hates Pest.
We rocking with DJ Pest, everybody hates Pest. That way, huh?
Rocking with my bro DJ Pest. Everybody hate Pest except me though.
The grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hustle, the culture, the business, the budget, the paper, the muscle, the grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hustle, the culture, the business, the budget, the paper, the muscle, the grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hustle, the culture, the business, the budget, the paper, the muscle, the grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hustle, the culture, the business, the budget, the paper, the muscle, grind culture.
So I'm about to just do it right now. Everybody good? Everybody tapped
Yeah,
in? Your
we
phone
ready.
on silent? I know how you get down. Hey, it was really good, man. It's your boy DJ Pest, a.k.a. The Bad Guy. This is Grind Culture, and I got a legend, a GOAT sitting across from me right now. I got my guy DJ John Blaze in the building. How you doing?
What's up, Pest?
Nothing, man.
That's
This is
love. That's love. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
For sure, man. Long time coming. I've been wanting to have a conversation with you for a very long time.
Nah. Same here.
But we here now. On this show, what we like to do is we like to give flowers. We like to just let the artist, the person across from me, tell their story.
Right.
It's what usually is not talked about in interviews.
Yeah, they forget about us. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
man.
saying?
They can't. You know what I'm saying? We're in the building.
I'm on the other side today.
What got you into DJing?
Love for music, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All music. Love for music and being being able to control the music. That was the thing, like being able to control the music, creating the vibe, you know, in any setting where I was at, whether it was like, you know, in youth sports or even high school, like the run out tapes, that was me. Because I want to hear like the records that I wanted to pump up, you know, get pumped up for the games. And so I put together the record, the warm up tape for the team and everything, all the way through, even in college when I was playing college basketball. Like I was doing it then too. Any party we were at, even before I touched the 1200, like I was the one putting together the mixtape or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever the vibe was
Yeah.
for that moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. And then when it got to the point where like I want to control the party, what better way to do that than be a DJ?
So how old were you when you started DJing?
In college, bro.
Oh,
like
okay.
like once the basketball dream came to an end.
Yeah.
I was like 2 years into college. I was probably like 21 years old, and I moved to California. And, you know, like I said, the basketball thing came to an end. So I'm like, well, what now? Now's the time. Let's go do it. Get the turntables and go. You know what I mean?
When you moved to California, how long were you in California?
For about 6 or 7 years. I moved to Orange County. I went to college. That's really why I was there. And then from there, when I graduated college, I was doing parties in college. But then it turned into staying in Orange County, close to L.A., you know what I mean? So I was doing parties, you know, gigs around there. And eventually my goal was to come back to Phoenix and work with artists, do mixtapes, and really set the city on fire, like really trying to get the artists known, because at the time I didn't really know any DJs who were doing mixtapes in Arizona, besides maybe one or two. Shout out to Mo Money, he was the only one really like doing it. I'm not sure at the time, but I knew what I wanted to do, and here we are. But that's kind of like the fast route to the background, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What year was that?
That was when I came back. It was probably like 07.
Okay.
06, 07 was when I came back to Phoenix as a DJ. And then, you know, I hit the club circuit heavy, you know, right into Sugar Tuesdays, Club Next, Scottsdale. Those who know. It was
Yeah.
a legendary Tuesday night. You know, shout out to all the promoters and everybody that I met during that time. But from there, just kind of turned into, you know, doing the whole club circuit. And then on top of that, doing mixtapes and really setting myself apart from the other DJs, from not only being the club DJ, but, you know, being the DJ to host the mixtapes and breaking artists and really giving the streets a voice.
How did AZ sound back then?
The sound was like, there was here and there was artists that were dope. You know what I'm saying? Like very street artists. Like I was just working with street artists at the time, so it was street music. You know, being that we're in hip hop, you know, you could get street records in the club and whatnot, but I was in the mixtape mode.
Yeah.
So I wanted to break these street records, and the music was dope. There was a lot of talent. But at the time, you know, you had a lot going on with like the Willie North Poles, you know what I'm saying, you know, Juice, everything, all that was going on. But people weren't really accepting it like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Wasn't accepting the mixtapes?
no, they weren't accepting the as a whole the music scene.
Yeah.
They weren't taking it serious because they, you know, Juice got on with Game, but he was, at the time it looked like he was Game's, little homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then the same thing with, Hot Rod with G-Unit. Like we had people in place, but they weren't really growing where they were at. So I think the city expected more, and then Willie did he got signed with Def Jam. That was a big deal. That was huge, man. But again, the city wasn't ready to recognize that as a big deal. Like all those guys paved the way in some sort for everything that we have today. But at the time, the fans and the culture wasn't there to accept it and ready to really build on it yet. Plus, like there wasn't enough DJs to really go crazy with it either.
Yeah,
at the time there wasn't any, and to be honest, like people laughed at Arizona hip hop. Like I remember, like I was shouting out, "Yo, Arizona hip hop, this shit is dope," and people laughed at me. Like they're like, "Man, that's a joke. Nobody can rap in Phoenix. Like our city's whack." And I'm like, "You're not hearing what I'm hearing." You know what I mean? So it was an uphill battle, man. It still is.
Were you the DJ for a lot of those artists?
I mean,
what you doing at mixtapes? I would have.
Yeah. So like early on, I did tapes for like Judge the Boss, classic tapes too. Vic Jr., Trap House, Trey Gutter. So those artists at the time, they were heavy street artists, and they pushed their brand heavy. So at the time, mixtapes, CDs, they would flood the streets with CDs. Yeah. And at the time, I was hosting everybody's shit, and I was doing my own CDs and tapes, and I'd press them up with all 20, 25 records on it, and flooding the streets. So everybody who was in the streets listening to these tapes, they would hear my name, they would see my logo on all these projects all over the streets, and I became that guy. Like, yo, go to Blaze, because nobody was doing what I was doing. Yeah. They always say, oh, Blaze like the drama of Phoenix. And that's a great honor to be called that. But I just wanted to fill a void. You know what I mean? There wasn't a DJ that had a voice at the time. You know what I mean? To really put the music on a platform like that.
Yeah, I moved here in 2013.
Yeah.
And when I got here, you were all over.
Right.
I come from a mixtape background back in Detroit.
Right.
So when I was reaching out to artists saying, they was like, yo, already got something coming out with John Blaze. That felt good. Yeah. And you probably don't remember this, but I would say probably 2013 or 14, you helped me with something at the press. It was the press room.
Okay.
You was helping me plug up. I didn't know how to plug up into this new mixer.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember that?
I think I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. And I think I still have your phone number from that day.
Probably, bro. Like it's always love, man, especially with other DJs. And I've always said that if you're doing something to help push the culture in Phoenix, I'm all for it. I've never said nothing negative about nobody who's pushing the culture at any level. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people pop up with podcasts and shows and this and that, and we're so competitive in this city at all levels that sometimes it holds us back. And for me, all I want to do is see Arizona win.
But with that being said, because you are the leader of the pack. Like nothing really happens in the city without you. We talking hip hop.
Okay.
You got to make sure John Blaze is okay with it first. Like that's how I really feel.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's an honor. That's crazy to me though, because like I just do my part. You know what I'm saying? And like for some, a lot of people say, "Oh, Blaze is a gatekeeper, this and that." And I guess I could say that I could see that at a point, especially like rocking with respect to underground and creating Icon Radio, this and that. All this is opportunities.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like I could create the opportunity, but it's up to the artist to follow through with that opportunity. Either you're gonna benefit or you're not, and that's a choice. You know what I'm saying? But the opportunity is always there. You know what I mean? Like, keep it real. Like, this is an opportunity. Whoever sees this, and I appreciate the, reaching out for this too. But yeah, man, that's all it's been about for me is creating opportunity. And now we're at a point like, okay, now we got people really paying attention. Now we got more media. We got more DJs giving a shit about our music. Because for the longest, DJs didn't care. Keep it real. And even when you came into the scene, there wasn't many DJs that were putting the effort in the business side of it from a mixtape DJ new. Besides me and you.
Yeah, this is new. Let's
be real.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah.
That's why I always got respect for cats like you, because you're doing your part. You came from Detroit and you put your twist to it. You already knew what you was doing. Like, Pest doing his thing. I gotta respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
Like, and there wasn't any DJs. Like, it takes a lot to do what we do.
Yeah. Do you lose sleep over it?
I mean, I have, not anymore.
What like how are you like that now? What have you let go of to allow yourself?
I've seen it all, bro. Like some things just don't change. Like you have to accept that you have to accept the things you can't change.
Yeah.
And honestly, when it comes to independent music, this is a business, and either some get it and some don't. And that's all I've been trying to do is, okay, look, here's the opportunity, but in order for you got to grow too. Like I can't hold your hand.
Yeah.
We don't got time for that. We're running businesses too. Like I feed my family with this, so my time is my money. You know what I mean? And you know, people respect that, but I think a lot of artists don't get that yet. They don't see how serious it is, and until you can take it serious, I can't take you serious. So you got to let things go, man. Like I've had times where I've just been upset about things, or you know what I mean, and still to this day too. But you gotta let it go, man. You know what I mean? Like we could talk tomorrow. Like even like we talked about last night's event.
Yeah.
It didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
But it still went. But here we are. We're still talking about it. You know what I mean? So,
So back then when mixtapes, you got tangible disc in your hand. How did the transition to digital work for you? Like what was your first big break? And
I dreaded the day of the digital, like the end of the CD era.
Yeah.
Because I started a business.
Yeah.
Since I was working with all the artists hosting the mixtapes and doing the mixtapes, I was going and getting them pressed up for them and charging them a little extra to like y'all get physical copies. And I'm spending this money and I'm like, hold up, how much is it to get my own shit? So boom, Zone Mixtapes came into play, and this was 2013, so it's already towards the end of CDs.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, like, it became the plug, like it was, so now I became the CD guy, pressing up, plus I'm doing the events. So artists need CDs for events. I need 100, Blaze, I need 200, Blaze, I need 1,000. I got, you know what I mean? So I had the equipment. I knew how to do it. I knew what it needed to look like. And I had a business till about, I could still press some shit today. I don't like to press CDs anymore because it's just too much time. But solid run for 7 or 8 years. You know what I mean?
And that's good. But during that process, when you had to transition to something new, what was the plan? Like, what was John Blaze going to do to stay number one? Well,
so then, like when out of the mixtape era came, that's kind of how Icon Radio was birthed.
Yeah, that's what
so like it went from the mixtapes to doing Live from Central Avenue show where I was, a mix show, interviewing the artists, having everybody, and I started with Radio Super. So I'm doing all that at the same time. And then it became, well, I don't want to just do one day a week for 3 hours. I want to do all the time. I want to create my own independent Shade 45. And that's how it became. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Like building the station, a show is one thing, but when you build a station, it's completely different. So, Icon Radio became a thing. And then, through Respect the Underground, the resources and the collection of artists that we have access to is unlimited. So it's like, okay, well, I already have all the hot records. They already sending me all the records. So let's create a rotation. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it went from the mixtape era into, the digital. And, the mixtapes still did their thing too, like with Dat Piff and everything. So you necessarily didn't have to have the physical CD. Dat Piff was huge. Like you go on Dat Piff right now and see all the tapes that I have up there.
I have seen them.
Type in hosted by John Blaze. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be like at least 60 of them that'll pop up. The rest of them, I don't know where they at, but yeah, that's where it is now. So now, we're in the digital game. So, online radio, social media, shit, doing this.
Is mixtapes dead?
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt.
I know it hurts.
I think you was gonna say but it hurt.
So I created a brand. I mean, I gotta get you a shirt, but I created a shirt. Mixtapes made me. That's the brand. Mixtapes made me. Like 100%. Like if people ask, like, what do you really, what would you say got you here? 100% mixtapes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like clubs is cool, but clubs just paid bills and kept my name. But really, like the mixtapes, like you said, you heard and saw my name everywhere. People recognize my voice and like, man, I didn't know you look like that, Blaze. I hear your voice and all these things. So like, mixtapes made me.
So mixtapes are dead.
Sorry to break the news. You know what I'm saying?
Because for a long time, I haven't been able to let it go. I think I just let it go pre-pandemic.
Yeah, really.
Because I'm like, well, okay, they can put them. Because what happened was you started seeing Wiz Khalifa. They brought their mixtapes, the classic mixtapes. They brought those to Spotify. So I'm like, okay, somebody has an ear for it.
So no. I think it's just like vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Like vinyl was gone, and then now all of a sudden people want to collect vinyl. So at some point, I think people are gonna bring back CDs. Like it'll be a retro, cool throwback thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like cassettes. Like I miss cassettes, but cassettes were dope.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point there's a part of the game. Shout to Gutta Gutta. I pressed up his mixtape frames for these mixtapes that he did. You know, with DJ Rockstar. You know what I mean? Back in the day, classic Young Money mixtapes, pre Drake. Pre-Nicki, you know what I'm saying? Like Weezy, you know, it was Wayne and Gutta Gutta. And you can't even get those physical copies nowhere, you know what I mean? Because they're gone.
Yeah.
So like you could maybe find them online, but I think if real fans were able to get physical copies of things like that, I think it would be something that they don't want to get, you know what I mean? So hey man, one day, you know, you start pressing up these copies of DJ Pest tapes, John Blaze tapes.
It happens, but the reason why I was saying that, because the mixtape is how an artist to me was solidified. Like, how good was your mixtape?
Yeah.
So with that out the way, what do you look for in an artist now? Like, how do you see their buzz?
Well, here's how you got to look at it too, though. Even with an album, like I tell artists all the time, like, why are you pushing an album? Mm-hmm. Push the single. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because the single is gonna get you, at least in my circle, attention. Because if you have a hot single, then now we got something to work with. If you just give me an album, okay, now I got to go find the record that I think is going to work. Yeah. Now we got to do the whole campaign push again. So why are we dropping an album? Mm-hmm. Drop the single, drop another single, or push that single for a year and then work on it. And then, you know, you can put out an album, but push the single. Mm-hmm. Put the money on the single. So with a mixtape, I think it's the same thing. Like mixtapes were used to really like get the buzz going. You know, but mixtapes were also street albums. Yeah. You know, in the streets, like that was your album. That was your contribution. It's different the way we listen to music today. Mm-hmm. People are used to TikTok.
Yeah, real quick.
Instagram, quick. Yeah. So if you can't get somebody's attention with one record in the first 15 seconds, you know, like what good is a mixtape? Yeah. I think a mixtape or an album is for like a fan. You know what I mean? Once you got a fan, give them something because they're gonna want more of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But a whole project is I think
it's over. Yeah,
that's over right now.
Yeah, me and Doobie actually had a conversation about that. Just wishing that he never came out with his project and just, you know, released every song individually in time.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a catalog too. But then again, like, you know, mixtapes were also, you know, you take other people's beats and, you know what I mean, like really be creative. Like we were creative with mixtapes. It wasn't just song. Like. Shit, my tapes had skits, you know, like I'm talking shit over it. Mm-hmm. It's different. Even people don't like to listen to that. Like they're like, man, why did Khaled talk all over the record? Just play the song. They don't understand that. That was our culture. That was the hip hop culture at the time. Today it's not. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of wasting your time. Even, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But mixtape, to answer your question, like mixtape is different. The way we listen to music is different.
So how does somebody get your attention? We're not talking about
artists.
Yeah, how does an artist grab your attention? Not them reaching out to you, but what do you look for? Like, oh, that caught my. Are you in a club?
I mean,
something to come.
It's got to be a record. Like I say it all the time. Like on a Beat Locker show, I say, you know, John Blaze, you know, I'm the fastest ear in the Southwest. Mm-hmm. 8 seconds or less. You got 8 seconds, and I say that because my emails are crazy. You probably know this. When I listen to everything. So I could tell off jump the first couple seconds if your record's going to be something that I want to continue listening to or if it's going to be hot garbage. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, it's not something I want to continue listening to.
The reason why I'm smiling right now is because I said that in another interview. I think I might have said 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a mirror right now.
I'm being generous by saying 8. Yeah. Because sometimes there's an intro. I'll give you a couple seconds for the intro. But like, if it's not something, like I already know based off the beat. I know off the production. I know off of the mix or the no mix or the mastered. Like I can tell. Yeah. Like what are we doing? Yeah. And then we get in trouble. They get mad at me for not. Man, Blaze don't support me. Come on, bro. Like how serious are you? Because if I can't play it, you think that shit's gonna work with Tony Neal. You think that's gonna work in L.A. and Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm not gonna sacrifice that. You know what I mean? Sending your shit with my name on it, like nah, bro. Come correct or go back to the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got 8 seconds.
I listen to every email, like I really do, and sometimes I apologize for those who are watching. Like, man, Blaze, don't fuck with me. I get like backed up like months at a time because I'm so busy. But some days it'll be a Sunday night. I'll just put my headphones on, Sports Center, and I'll listen to everything, and I'll try to reply like with some type of feedback. Sometimes I don't. You know, but I really listen to everything. I'll give you 8 seconds. Don't send your whole project either. If you send 8 records or 10 records, send me the one. And don't and some DJs are gonna say, and you may say this too, like don't send links. But to be honest, I don't mind links when they're just trying when I'm trying to find a new artist, because I could go to it, press play on Spotify, and then if I like it, I'll be like, yo, send me the MP3.
Okay.
You know, like DJ Oz, like, nah, no links, and I get that too, but I like Spotify.
Well, I think the reason why I might say that, and because it's why I would say it, is they don't send the right link. You know, some people have the most unprofessional way of getting their music out. We talking just on YouTube. Yeah. It's not on a streaming platform.
Listen, if you're this might be another switch of direction.
We lit. I'm ready.
But look, artists. When you send your record to a DJ, an MP3, right? And send an MP3 because I ain't got room for your WAV file. like let's be
no
honest,
WAV files ever.
Yeah, I could get like 20 MP3s for your one WAV file. Yeah. So listen, your name, the artist's name,
subject line. We talking in an email, right?
In the file.
Oh, in the file. Okay.
In the file, in the track file.
Yeah.
When you export wherever you record at, rename it or do it in the program. It'll allow you to name your file, save file as artist name dash
song,
the name of the song,
yeah.
Right? If there's any features, featuring, and then you know what I mean. Dirty, is it a dirty and clean? And most artists don't even do a clean version until it's requested from a DJ who's on FM radio. So
and you feel like that's wrong too, though, right?
What?
Do you believe that an artist is supposed to have that clean ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you serious or not?
Yeah.
Because look, there's so many ways to make money. This is a business, right? Mm-hmm. So why would you present yourself in that way? Because I'm seeing records sent to me, Blaze, you don't fuck with me. I sent you my record, this and that. I'm looking at your file and it says recording dash final lander dot. You know what I mean? This one, third. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Do you ever find yourself when you do listen to it, do you ever find yourself like, damn, I wish they had their shit together? Because this song is great.
All the time. And what does that say about you, though? Like, understand when I speak this way, I'm speaking from a place of, like, I'm trying to help. Because if I don't tell you, who's going to tell you? And the industry ain't going to take you serious. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you had a business, right? So you got a burger joint. And you put all this money into a burger joint, right? And you got fire hamburgers, and you're like, my shit's the best. And then you go put, a sign out on the road, and it just, you know what I mean? It's a cardboard, and it says hamburgers. That's literally the equivalent of your product. Like your product, you got to dress that up. Mm-hmm. Your image, everything, down to the file of your track. You know what I'm saying? Then we're talking about artwork.
Yeah.
Then we're talking about marketing. Then we're talking about the image. So when you're asking, what do you look for in an artist? When you come correct the first time already like that, okay. What the track sound like? Oh, this is dope. Okay. Oh, he got the dirty and the clean. Oh, he got the DJ pack with the intro. Okay. He got artwork. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is a hot record. Like, let me get that. You got your shit together. Mm-hmm. And artists have to have their stuff together because you're not serious about it. And what's crazy, sometimes it's not their fault, Pest. Like, we have to somehow educate them, because if you're not registering your music digitally through ASCAP, BMI, Sound Exchange, you're leaving money on the table. That money you're getting from DistroKid, that's cool. But there's 4 or 5 other ways to get money. And if this is your business, you want the ROI, right? The return on investment. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So do you feel that you should be the one to teach them, or
no?
Yeah. So what?
I could tell you what you should learn.
Yeah.
But why should I be that guy? And to a degree, I only know so much too. That's not my lane. But I could break your record. But I know that the people that at the next level, that's what they look at. Blaze, this is dope, but we look him up and we don't see nothing. He don't have an EPK.
Yeah.
They don't have the Instagram ain't looking right. They got they juicing their numbers. They got 100,000 views on YouTube and 2 likes. They notice those things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so John Blaze is sitting in his chair, his throne. What makes you feel like you've accomplished something?
I can't say I've accomplished anything yet. I'm a humble.
Wait. This whole time of your career, you're saying that you haven't accomplished nothing.
I mean, I've accomplished like getting to the point where now I'm seeing the result of a lot. And to be honest, when I first set out on this whole journey, bro, all I wanted was people outside of the music industry to know who these artists were. So regular people, right? Regular people to be like, oh, I know this artist. He's from Phoenix, and we listen to his music. That's really all I wanted to do, because that let me know, like, I'm doing my job. But now I got people on the team that are also like-minded. We're looking to break records. We've connected with DJs in Colorado, Atlanta, Texas, Las Vegas, New Mexico, Southwest Alliance. Core DJs is national. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we're taking music from our city outside the state. Facts. Like, look it up. So if your record is ready to go, I got people in Atlanta. I have my brother K-Tone in Denver. Like, these are people that could really do something with your music.
How did that start, though? That wasn't always there.
COVID.
So.
COVID did a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because of COVID, you know, as DJs, it shut us down.
Yeah.
To a degree. Actually, to a lot. But what happened was we utilized the internet and Zoom to create the alliance between DJs in Colorado, which we already had relationships, but now it allowed us to be active online because everybody was doing Zoom and this and that. So we brought together Antonio from Colorado, DJ K-Tone, Colorado, myself, Phoenix, and my guy Roland from Zaytown Global in Atlanta. And he has the Industry Connect, and then together we have all these artists within Phoenix and Denver. And we did a Zoom call every Tuesday. We still do it. And we brought in all the DJs that we know, and we do it every week. And we bring artists from Denver, artists from Phoenix. We play videos, play the record, and then we have feedback. And my guy in Atlanta will bring in industry artists. So sometimes Def Jam will hit us and be like, yo, we got a new artist. Boom, boom. We've had Jermaine Dupri bring his artist to us. We've had DJ Drama bring Seti Hendrix to the call. So because of that, now it's giving more light to the region. So now we're outside the city, outside the state, and I got DJs in Denver, Chicago, Detroit tapping into the call, and they're like, yo, who's this? This is C.O. Yante. Send me that right now. You know, DJ Holligrove in Houston. He does FM. He did mixtapes, so he's got his brand. So now you got all these other DJs in other markets not only playing a record, knowing who they are, but they're playing the record. Strip clubs in Atlanta, like, what's up? Boom, send us the record. Now I got DJs, yo, Blaze, I'm going to Denver. Who do I need to talk to? Go talk to K-Tone. Go do that. Now they're doing media over there. So that's what we're talking about with the Southwest Alliance. And all that happened through COVID. You know what I mean? So it's been a blessing. We've met tons of artists. The Denver market is crazy, just like Phoenix. And as a whole, the Southwest is something serious.
Yeah, I've been
the
seeing
industry is watching.
Yeah.
And they're seeing what we're doing. You know, and shout out to all the DJ crews. You know, they were doing the Coalition DJs are doing the New Music Mondays in Atlanta. They've been doing that for years. So this was kind of the our style of it from the Southwest point of view during COVID. So and we kept doing it. You know, even outside the pandemic. I mean, we're still in it, but it's a way to break records and break artists.
How do you feel about club DJing? Personally, you.
For me personally, like, I mean, it's cool. Like, I love the DJ. That's a different thing. Like, you would understand that, but a lot of people don't understand. But for me, it's a release. When you build a party, you know what I mean. Like that's a completely different game.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be seasoned for that. You know, I love club DJing.
Would you? Well, I think what I'm asking is, do you want more of it, or you kind of like it's too much on your plate?
I think at this point in my life, I've done a lot of club, been out a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now I find more opportunity with creating opportunities. You know what I'm saying? For the independent game.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have both. You know what I mean? But right now, in the way things for me, like, it makes more like I'm kind of, I think I might be burnt out a little bit with the club for right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm older. It's hard to keep up with everything, especially like when you're keeping up with everything independently and in the city and doing this and that, and doing shows and all this and that. I mean, I've done it for years.
Yeah, I find myself, I'm at the club and they're like, you got this, and I'm like, who? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, look, the club game is a young man's game, right? And I salute to the guys still in it. You know, they're like war vets at this point. You know, but I've done my time in the club. You know, I've rocked some serious parties. I've rocked with the best, and I've seen it all. I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? But at this point, I find more opportunity for me. Business-wise and just opportunity-wise is to work the independent game in the radio side of it.
So where are the records being broke at?
I mean, shit, we really want to talk about like social media. That's where it starts, right? And through the network of the DJs. But the club, I don't have to necessarily be in the club personally.
That's true.
I got DJs in the club who are part of what we're building, and you know, now more than ever, now they're willing to play the records. When I was doing it in the club, I may have been blackballed because of it. True facts.
Did you realize that was happening?
Yeah. I knew what it was. Like I knew what I was doing past a long time ago. They didn't get it. But I took the opportunity, like, I'm in the hottest club in the city right now. My man Trey Gutter just walked in off a Stretch limo. He got an album release. They just bought 5 bottles and tables. He's walking in with 75 people. I'm breaking his record a couple times. Promoters running to me, Blake, no, what are you doing? And I'm like, hold on, bro, like,
it's love in here
we're
right
breaking
now.
records right now. This is what we're doing. Let me do what I do. Nah, play that Rick Ross.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true story.
I believe that.
You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Like, it just is what it is. They didn't have the vision that I did at the time.
But do you wish the door was open now?
I think it has.
Well, I mean, for you, do you wish that, you know, like, they viewed it this differently when you were doing it?
Right. Now,
do you feel like...
I think they respect it. Like, you know, it comes down to trust, but, like, I mean, show and prove. Like, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could take, you know, cat like Yante or Kevo, and I think the way we listen to music is different, too, because you get so much music. The average person gets so much music on a daily. You don't have to have a name no more. If it's hot, it's hot. And if there's a dance to it, oh, that's a hit. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't matter who you are or anything anymore. Does it attract people? Are they having fun? Okay, well, we ain't tripping.
Yeah.
We used to, you know, it was different back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at a club, you know, you got to play records that are familiar. So anytime anything unfamiliar is played to a DJ or a promoter, it's like, oh, hold on, wait, what are we doing? You know, I took the risk.
Yeah,
you know, you have to.
You cross
most DJs, they won't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And some of us did. And
I think a lot of what I do now comes from the blueprints you laid out.
Really,
I would never, you know, I've been DJing since I was 14 years old. I'm 35. I've never been able to break a record for real. Like, I'm going to just do me.
Right.
Until probably I started realizing what you were doing.
I mean, but what's considered breaking a record? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's different levels to breaking a record.
Okay,
you know?
I'm gonna let you go.
So I think breaking a record is getting it off the, you know what I mean, from the artist inbox, you know what I'm saying, or just their core people, to getting it to people that had never heard of them. Like, that's breaking a record. Now you're talking about getting rotation or getting it to other DJs and getting it known.
Yeah, breaking a record doesn't start at just playing.
Yeah, you got to break a rerecord somewhere. So, like, yeah, people are like, oh, yeah, Blaze says he breaks records. But, you know, I mean, I have no plaques to show for it yet. But there's people that know artists because we broke the record. Because if we didn't do it, who would have played it?
Yeah, there's artists I can speak on right now, and I would have never heard their record.
Right.
If you, I mean, they performed at my showcases.
Right.
And I still not realizing that they got music out in these streets until I look at it like, oh, you're pushing it.
Right.
And when you're pushing it, it puts this kind of stamp on it to say, okay, I might need to see what's going on.
And in order for it to really grow, though, it takes more than me, though, Pest. Like, it really takes people like yourself. It takes, other DJs. So my goal this past year, too, has been podcasts are like the new mixtape DJs, too. Like, they're a big part of everything. I want to bring all the media in Arizona. It don't matter what level you at. Let's all come together. If we have a hit record in the city, all of us need to at least know about it and use the energy that you have from whatever your brand is to push that record. You know what I mean? And we did that as a test with the COE You know what I'm saying? I keep saying it because
it happened.
It
so
happened.
You got to keep saying it.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, like, there was only a few of us that had the record, but when we brought everybody together, he's a household name.
Yeah.
And he works. And everywhere he goes, he puts on a show. And that's what you have to do. Like, yeah, people know his side record, but they don't know it in other markets yet. Some here and there, but it's not there yet. So we're still yet to break that record. We broke it in the city. We may have broke it in the region. Now, I know for a fact we broke it in the region, but we haven't broke it nationally. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. And that's what it takes.
Well, let's speak to that too, because I want you to be able to like say it on this platform.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I know the answer, but like I said, for people that don't know, you get a lot of just talk about how people in your position don't look out for nobody except the people that are born and raised in Arizona.
Okay.
So what do you say to that? How do you feel when somebody comes from another state?
Yeah.
Comes here and they say they're about to take over Arizona and whatever.
I mean, look, Arizona is a place, is a destination, as we can see. Everybody's coming here, you know, and at the end of the day, it's still the wild, wild west, you know, and until, we were just having this conversation yesterday. Shout out to DJ, core DJ Cube. He said the same thing about Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, for sure. It has to happen in Atlanta, too.
Before Atlanta was Atlanta music, you had the combination of Eric Sermon and Too Short and somebody else, I forget who it was, that came and put an influence on something that became Atlanta. What they were doing, you know what I mean, in the Bay, what they were doing in New York came, and then that's where it really originated from. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have influences from all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes people from Detroit. It takes people from, you know, New York and this and that and really put it into Phoenix. So taking over, I don't know about taking over, but yeah, I know a lot of people feel a way about it. But at the end of the day, you got to handle business. You know what I mean? Like, utilize your resources. It doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? And that could happen. That could happen where someone comes from out of state and really put their feet in the ground and take over, if if that's what you say. But look at the platforms like Respect the Underground. Look at the platforms like the Beat Locker that focus on Arizona, you know. And I tell artists all the time, if you don't take advantage of the opportunities that are in your city and your resources, these out-of-staters are doing it right now. I get my line hit up every day. Jersey, Milwaukee, Detroit, Chicago, Blaze. I'm new in town, been here for 2 weeks. They say you're the guy. What do I got to do? And here I am. I'm looking out for all the artists who I've been rocking with. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to really, you know, give everything I can to put the music here on another platform. So if that takes an artist who's here from somewhere else to do it, that may happen. Look at Joe Boy. You work with Joe Boy. You know what I'm saying? Where Joe Boy from?
I want to say Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think
Tennessee.
I
love Joe Boy. You know what I'm saying? Joe Boy rocks the De La Prime. De La Prime's from Glendale. Yeah. Like, so at the end of the day, like, it's still all Arizona. You know what I mean? So Arizona's a melting pot. People move here every day from LA. We're now the 4th or 5th largest city in America. Yeah. You know what I mean? So somebody gonna do it.
But you welcome that though, right? Because I mean, you've seen it when it was just. I mean, there's buildings that you're older than, you know. Right, so you saw it happening, and you was like, "Oh, this has to happen." Or did you have any kind of like pullback saying, "Well, they're not from here"?
I don't hate on nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock nobody's hustle. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think we all need support from everywhere. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I'm asking you this.
Yeah.
because I want you to be able to say it, because I know, I'm on social media.
Yeah.
And I'll see that a lot of us get this kind of, well, he only mess with these people. He don't mess with these people. Why he don't mess with us? And forget him because I heard he don't mess with them.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get you to say it so we'll from here on out, we don't have to hear that no more.
Like, it's never been that. People who know me, they know all you got to do is reach out. Create relationships. I don't care where you from. You know what I mean? What are we talking about? Like, I'm technically, people could say, well, Blaze isn't born and raised in Phoenix. I'm not born and raised in Phoenix.
Where you from?
I'm born in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I grew up in a small town that's 3 hours east of here that no one probably knows of. I'm from a small town.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not born and raised in Phoenix. I left to California, became a DJ, and then came back. My family's in Arizona. I'm an Arizona guy. So, like, that's where I'm at. But when it comes to, like, rocking with anybody who's really rocking with me, like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all building towards the same thing. And at the end of the day, we have to create enough noise to get the attention of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coming to Arizona. You think people ain't gonna sell houses because you're not from, the buyer's not from Phoenix? Like, come on, like, people, like, what's up?
Well, hip hop is the only thing that really gets that kind of, some things don't get attention.
Everything comes from something else. You know what I'm saying? And those who know, but like, there's been a lot of groundwork that's been placed. But, in order for us to build, it doesn't matter where you're from anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great to have homegrown for sure. I want to see homegrown win. But, that's not going to hold us back from, like, creating a strong community, you know what I'm saying, and a real music scene. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So let's get in your bio bag. When you look at John Blaze, what's the titles? Like, what titles do you hold? What does John Blaze do for people who have no idea who you are?
Oh, man, I would say just breaking records, artist promotion, you know what I'm saying, radio station owner, you know what I mean, event coordinator, network, resources, all the above, business, businessman, DJ, promoter, like, it's all in the same category of DJ. It just, they turn into different businesses. We're entrepreneurs at the end of the day. So they turn into different things. And that's what you have to do, especially in the independent market. You got to do everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned how to do graphics. I've learned how to edit video. These are all, this. You know what I mean? These are all things that we have to do. We stream. We learn every day. So, that's kind of, we do it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mixtape DJ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So showcases, the importance of showcases on a scale of 1 to 10, how important are they? Underground showcases.
10. You know why? Because you need that time on stage. That time on stage is necessary. It's vital, because you got to learn how to perform. 9 out of 10 artists don't know how to perform. And when I say perform, like, when you perform, you're there to entertain. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and watch some of the greatest performers of all time in hip hop, they're not just up there rapping their lyrics, vocals or not. Yeah, you got to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? So showcases get you on stage, get you in front of people, and get you to understand part of the business, because you got to bring people, you got to market. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just don't show up and rap. You know what I mean? Like, this is all part of it. Like, this stage wasn't there before you got there. You know what I mean? Like, we had to put that together. The lights weren't on before. We got to put that together. Like, the DJ just didn't show up. Like, this building wasn't just booked. It's for a reason.
The reason why I'm smiling is because you said, you know what I said. You know what you said to make me start smiling. So how do you feel about? I have to ask, because people will be like, why didn't I ask? Yeah. How do you feel about this no vocals, main vocals conversation?
Look, I'm going to speak directly to my guy Merge, because I know he's the one that really pushed it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I say it like this, like, I'm a true fan of hip hop, indeed. And I definitely feel like it's necessary to be able to perform your lyrics and be a true MC. Mm-hmm. Because when you get to the point where people are really watching you and paying attention, that's a plus. Like, damn, he really that good. He did it without his vocals. But on an independent standpoint, you got to get people's attention, and you got to have a good record, and a lot of times too, we do these showcases, the mics and the sound is not right. I've been in venues on major shows where I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I could have brought my setup from home and sound better. Yeah. So sometimes, you got to use your vocals for that too. But again, it comes with preparation too, because a lot of artists don't have a show track. They may not even know what a show track is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's number one. I think it's important, but it's not as important as something. At some level, it may need to be. You know what I mean? Like if you go on tour, you're going to need a DJ. You're going to need a set and a routine and a real show so you could entertain people. Otherwise, you're not a real artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So showcases is important because you're going to learn that. You know what I mean? You're going to learn the business. You're going to see how important it is. And most artists don't get that until you really get a situation where you have to go on the road. You know what I mean? Most artists ain't been on the road. I've been on the road with the best. I've rocked stages, you know, day in and day out, you know, for weeks at a time with cats like Redman and Method Man. You know what I mean? Like legends, hip-hop legends. And to see the work they put in is amazing. Look at Busta Rhymes and Spliff. At their age, you know what I mean? Just it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's poetry on not only in sound but in the way they do it. You know what I mean? So when you take in consideration that really shows you how serious. So there's a lot of learning to do when it comes to that. Performing is very, very important. So use all the stages you can get on, no matter what size of stages they are, and take advantage of it.
Perfectly said.
All levels, man. There's levels to everything.
Yeah. And I think the last question I'm asking, because I try not to be a tyrant on social media.
Yeah.
I try not to, you know, just always sound like the person is just so against everything. But when it comes to these showcases, who's required to bring the audience?
Well, I'll say it like this. If you have every artist should be responsible for how they want to be perceived from everybody else. So, number one, you should be pulling up with at least 10 people. You know what I mean? Any situation you're going into, whether it's entourage or fans or support or whatever, because if you get in a crowd in a room where there's only maybe 40 people, right? Say there's 40, 50 people in the room, and 10 of them or 8 of them are with you, and they're rocking with your music, and your music's good. Now you got the attention of everybody else in the room. So times that by 200 people. Say you got 200 people in the room, and you got 15 fans who are rocking with you, know the words, and your music's good. Now everybody else is starting to pay attention, and they're like, oh, who's that? So off jump, regardless, you should come with people no matter what. If you can't bring 10 people to a show, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But wait, we're going to continue this conversation, but when it comes to the artist that doesn't have those 10 people, should that artist not come out until they have 10 people, or should they continue to? I
think they could come out and still do what they do, but you're gonna be humbled real quick. Like, nobody was rocking with me. Well, you didn't bring nobody.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, your music may not have been ready.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But there's times where the music is ready.
Sometimes
and they in their dough. They just moved there 2 weeks ago.
That too.
So
that's a different story.
So what do we say to that? What's the story about that? What do we say to them? We say
everybody got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but do you find yourself getting behind that artist, or it's just kind of like
if the music is there and you know what I mean, they got something they could build with, and they really are willing to put in the work, then absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, we don't turn anybody away, even with respect to underground. People say a lot of things about our shows and the talent, but guess what? We put artists on stage who have never been on there before. You know what I'm saying? And then we've seen them 3 years later, and like, whoa, I remember their first show.
Yeah.
Like, we've literally had people pass out because they were nervous to get on stage. You know what I'm saying? Or quit right there. Like, we had, like, we've had artists take their shoes off because he was freaking out. Like, he was more comfortable barefoot. This is a true story, bro. It'll come out in a documentary one day.
Yeah.
But like, we've literally seen it all. But at the end of the day, there's still that opportunity to grow. Every artist has an opportunity to grow. You know what I'm saying? And again, there's levels.
Yeah.
It's not to say that they're gonna get the primetime slot on the biggest stage at the event, but they may get something, and then that'll motivate them to get better.
What gets the best time at a show? Is it the music, or is it the following?
Everything.
None is bigger than the other.
I think it's the whole package. Like, if you're going crazy on, look, at the end of the day, you know, shows have bars and bar minimums. These are the things that people don't talk about. Like, promoters put their ass on the line for this stuff to let you come rock.
Yeah.
We got to cover bar tabs and DJs and security and all that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, they're still part of the business side of it. So it's a balance between the business, the entertainment factor. You know what I mean? Who pulls? Mm-hmm. Who has the best marketing? Like, if you have the whole package, and look, it's not just us saying it. You can go anywhere. Anybody who's investing in you is going to want these things. So we're actually educating these artists. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody who's going to put a bag behind you is going to want their money back, right?
Yeah.
And then some. So what am I investing in? You know, do you have your shit together? Do you have 10 fans you could start with? Okay. Are you going to market? Are you going to stay out of trouble? You know what I mean? Are you going to put any money into this? Why should I? You know what I mean? So those are all things we got to think about, and most artists don't. So when you look at it from that perspective, that point of view, it changes, you know, it gives you a little insight on things.
Yeah, and that's all I would want you to say, because I just know it.
Yeah.
I don't know every time it happens, but I know it happens more than we would want it to happen. Where
Right.
somebody just has something, we just don't get a chance to say it. You know, we just have to sit there and read it. And
the biggest artist that we know in hip hop, there's something behind it. I don't care what no one says. There's money being put up for you to see them. The reason they're popping. Think about it. How did all of a sudden this record go viral? How are all these DJs playing this? There's something behind it. Why are they on billboards all over every market? Why are they being played this many times a day on the station? Why am I tired of the record already? You know what I mean? Like, why are they on tour with Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen because you're dope. It doesn't just happen because you can rap. Anybody can rap vocals. Can you entertain? Is the record hot? Do you have potential? Am I going to get my money back?
Yeah.
That's simple as that. You know, this is a business. This is the music business. This isn't a music hobby. This isn't for fun. They got karaoke nights for that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Somebody got to say it, Pest. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
With that being said, Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson, we got some of the hottest artists. The Southwest got some of the hottest artists in the world. We got some of the greatest MCs in the world. We got some of the hottest DJs, literally, from the club to the streets, everything. Some of the hottest DJs in the game. The industry doesn't know yet. So what we're trying to do is put our best forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got a squad and I'm going up against you know, the Nets, I got to put my best 5 on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need Booker, I need CP3, I need whoever else I can get. Even if I got to make a trade to bring somebody else in, like, look at Phoenix. Why don't people get mad with the Cardinals and the Phoenix when they bring other people from out of town? They're not born and raised in the city.
I told you that just happened in hip hop. It don't happen nowhere else but hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop is the only way we can have this conversation.
Yeah, nah, we trying to get a ring.
Yeah.
I need a ring before I get out the game pass.
And that's when is it time for John Blaze to hang up his coat? I'm glad you helped me with that segue.
Man. I want to break. I want a plaque. I want to really, and not just like you like I put work into some artists and some records that you could say that I could qualify for that. But I want to see an artist that I saw come from nothing to go and really did it. You know what I mean? And really put the city in a different place because of that. You know what I mean? That would show, and it's not just about like a plaque, but it's just to show like what we did and all the work and effort and grind that we all did together. You know what I mean? And from myself, it'll show. It will show like. It was
and ain't nothing wrong with saying it's just a plaque.
Yeah,
I feel it because that's the same way.
It's coming.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
coming.
the same way.
But it takes everything. It takes all this for it to happen.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about you.
Okay.
But it's just so hard because I feel like we need Titanic movie length to, King Kong was 3 hours long. We need like hours.
We could do part 2. Like,
yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
Part 8. We didn't touch half the stuff that.
Hey, look, we can come back, bro, because this is important stuff, and a lot of times I don't get the opportunity to say this, publicly like this, So I appreciate you, provide me the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Man, it's an honor. Like, I've been looking at how you move since I moved here.
I appreciate that.
And it hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anybody represent in this state like you do. DJ-wise. I mean, you could talk about other positions, but as a DJ, it's just so much. Yeah,
and it's constantly evolving, too. Like, we got to, every day we got to reinvent ourselves. You know what I mean? Like,
and you're doing that, you know what I'm saying? So, this was me giving you your flowers, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. Yeah. I'll take them.
Yeah. So where can people find you at on social media if they want to follow you?
Instagram, John Blaze HD, Icon Radio, IKON Radio. on Instagram. You know, connect. That's all you gotta do is connect, make relationships. Like I said, I have a network, you know, that I've built. I'm willing to give my network, my resources, you know, come correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just be entitled to something. Like, you know, it took me a lot of time and money to get where I need to get. My time is money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? I do things when they're necessary and you know, if I need to do them. This is one of those times. You know what I mean? This was necessary. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you. Other than that, it's all business. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we're going to break a record. We're going to break a record, you know? So, you know, get at me, man. You know, create relationships. I'm always available. And, you know, watch what we do next.
All right, man. This was Grind Culture, John Blaze, DJ Pest.
Yes, sir.
See you on the next episode.
The grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hustle, the culture, the business, the budget, the paper, the money.